This theory is about design of a damper winding. So damper winding are the short-circuited winding which is embedded in the pole face of a salient pole type of rotor as shown in the figure. Okay, so there is specific role of a damper winding in a alternator and in a synchronous generator. In case of a alternator, it is used to reduce the effect of a hunting, while in case of a synchronous motor, it is used for a self-starting and also to reduce the effect of a hunting. So the amplitude of a fundamental of MMF, which is required by one phase of any polyphase or three-phase winding, is given by this equation. The MMF or ampere turn of one phase is 4 by pi into ampere turn of the phase into the winding factor. Okay, where ampere turn of one phase is given by the equation, or where ampere turn of phase M is under root 2 the phase current and turns per phase divided by P. Okay, so if we put this equation over here, let us say this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. If we put the value of ATM over here in the equation of AT fundamental or the fundamental MMF, we will get ampere turn of a fundamental is equal to 4 times root 2 divided by pi into IPH to TPH and the winding factor Kw. Now this pulsating MMF can be divided into two rotating MMF, one called the synchronous MMF and other one is the inverse MMF. Okay, so each is having half of the magnitude of this equation, and if a damper winding is used to suppress the inverse rotating field, or it has to produce the torque against the fundamental rotating magnetic field, then it must develop the equal MMF that is of a inverse field. Okay, so basically this MMF can be divided in two parts. Simply we can understand it like half of the MMF is for forward field and half is for the reverse field, because damper winding will be active when hunting is the present, and the oscillation can happen in both direction, in the same direction of rotating magnetic field or in the opposite direction of a rotating magnetic field. So the MMF of damper winding is half of this MMF. Okay, so the MMF of damper winding is simply we will divide this equation by 2, so we will get 4 root 2 divided by 2 pi okay. Now the ampere conductor per pole is given by one simple equation. Ampere conductors per pole is ampere conductor into tau, the pole pitch, is equal to 6 IPH TPH divided by the poles. Okay, so now if we compare these two equations, then some things are common. IPH TPH, okay, divided by number of pole. Okay, this thing is common. Okay, so simply if we take this 6 on this side, then this entire term IPH into TPH divided by number of pole can be replaced. Okay, so ampere conductor into tau divided by 6, we can replace it over here. Okay, so this equation if we rewrite, then it will look like 4 root 2 divided by 2 pi into ampere conductor into tau divided by 6 into the winding factor. Okay, now we know the values of winding factor. It is 0.955. Okay, then this thing we can resolve. Okay, so if we simplify this, okay, then we will get 0.143 AC tau. If you put the value of a winding factor to be 0.955, okay, over here, okay, and if we simplify all this, we will get this value that ampere conductor per pole is 0.143 times ampere conductor into tau. Now let us take that a capital AD. It is the total area of this damper bar. Means if I have used 3 damper bars over here, I am considering that total area covered by all these damper bar. Let us take it is AD. Okay, so if we take the current density to be delta D, then AD into delta D, okay, for D subscript for a damper winding. So area into the current density will be equivalent to this equation, 0.143 ampere conductor into tau. Okay, or we can rewrite this equation as 0.143 ampere conductor tau divided by the current density. Okay, so the area provided for the damper winding is always little bit higher than whatever we calculate from this equation. Okay, and the value of this current density in the damper winding is generally 3 to 4 ampere per mm square. Okay, it is 3 to 4 delta D. Okay, so this equation is not giving you the exact value, so the modification is done like 0.2 ampere conductor into tau divided by delta D. Okay, so this will give you the total area of your damper bars. Okay, the length of a damper bar. Okay, so the length of damper bar actually if you see this figure in a 3D, okay, let us say if this is the 3D figure, okay, then over here suppose your bar is ending, okay, and then this would be the length of your rotor core. Okay, so generally the length of a damper bar, if we take this as L, okay, then the length of a damper bar, let us say it is LD, it is generally taken as 1.1 times the length of the core, and this is for a smaller machine. This is for smaller machine. If a larger machine is there, then we have another equation that LD is equal to L plus 0.1 meter. Okay, so simply we have to add 0.1. Okay, now this is the cross section area of all the damper bars. Okay, this is the cross section area of the all the damper bars that you are using, and this is the equation of the length 1.1 times L. LD is equal to L plus 0.1 meter. Okay, now if we want to calculate the cross section area of each damper bar, okay, so for example in our figure we have 3 damper bars. Okay, so what will be the area of each damper bar? So area of each damper bar is simply given by total area. Total area is AD, okay, that we have calculated from this equation, okay, divided by the number of damper bars. Let us say ND is the number of a damper bar. Okay, in our case it is 3. So this area divided by 3 will give you the area of each bar over here. Okay, area of each bar. Okay, and if we are using circular bars, okay, if the area or this corresponds to a circle, okay, then AD is pi by 4 into d square, where d is the diameter, okay, over here, okay, AD is equal to pi by 4 d square, okay, where this dd is the diameter of the damper bar. So over here, if this circle represents one damper bar, then the diameter of this damper bar is d. Okay, then one thing will be there, the area of each ring. Okay, now these damper bars are connected by means of one ring. Okay, like this. Okay, they are short circuited like this, they are short circuited with one another. Okay, so the area of each ring is having direct relationship with area of damper bars. Okay, and that is given by, let us say, a ring is the area of each ring. Okay, then it is 0.8 to 1 times AD. Okay, it can be similar, or mostly it is taken as 80% of the total area. Okay, and height of a pole shoe is also related with this diameter of this damper bar. Okay, let us say this is the height of a pole shoe. Okay, in our case, okay, it has direct relationship with the diameter of our damper bar. Okay, so the final calculation is height of pole shoe, HS, is 2 times diameter of a damper bar. Okay, so this equation can be used. So these are the equations which are used for the calculation of dimensions related to the damper winding.